Y'all know what it is, y'all know who it is, and you're about to find out where it is. It's all on the morning run. It's your man, Big Dog Chico, yours truly, Uncle Neely holding it down. Deuce to Scoop is traveling, but we're going to represent our man to the fullest. Today, special guest, AD Rick George, will be joining us just after the top of the hour live. So you want to get in the chat and get ready. It's the morning run.
Yes, runners, wake up if you haven't been woken up yet, whatever time it is, wherever you are. I know it's morning somewhere. So come join us, the morning run right here on the Pregame Network. Today it's Big Dog Chico and Uncle Neely with a special guest joining us. So stay tuned for that coming up at the top of the hour. Before that, though, we're going to discuss, of course, like we always do, some Colorado Buffaloes football with Uncle Neely. And before we do that, though, y'all make sure y'all go to the website, check us out, unclechico.myshopify.com, and get you some merch. Get you some merch like Uncle Neely is wearing right there. The Three-Headed Monsters merch right there, looking nice and clean. I like that. Make sure y'all go to the website. Use the code TMR10 to get you 10% off at checkout. And when you come up in here, make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. You see it. We're in that Big Dog Chico, that Pregame Network on his shoulders. Make sure y'all follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and everything else. Stay up to date with the latest of the Colorado Buffaloes. Insights from Coach Prime, exclusives right here on the Morning Run. Uncle Neely, good morning to you in the middle of America.
Good morning to you in the middle of the ocean with all that motion. What's going on, Big Dog Chico?
Hey, man, slow motion, rolling, chilling.
Slow motion. I hear you, big dog. Y'all know what to do when you come in the chat, man. Let us know where you're checking in from. Drop your city, drop your state, drop your area code. Give us something to let us know where you're watching around the nation because we know we got views from LA to New York and all
Mm-hmm.
points in between. So we're gonna have a robust conversation today with AD Rick George at the top of the hour, but as always, gonna stay in tune with the culture and what's going on in Colorado football and with the Buffs as well in the NFL. Chico, I know you can appreciate this as a former player.
What's that?
Although there's going to be a practice tomorrow and a practice Friday and a practice next week, ain't nothing like the last day of fall camp, which is today.
Yes, indeed. Getting everything out of your system, and then you putting everything into your system too for game week coming up. Because you're gonna
Yeah.
hear those veterans come into the locker room. They're gonna be pumped up. The freshmen gonna be looking around like, "What's going on? It's game week, baby. Get your mind right." It's a different attitude when you walk in that locker room, dog.
Yeah.
About to go play somebody else this week. We got somebody coming in here trying to knock our heads off. So we like, hey, if your mind not right now, you better start getting it right this week because it's game week, baby, and we can't wait.
Yeah, first day of classes tomorrow. We had a real good team meeting this morning. Coach Prime really doubled down and intensified his standards and expectations from a scholastic standpoint. Starting tomorrow, the graduate assistants and other coaches will be walking by those classrooms, making sure you're in there, making
Knock
sure you're
over
not in
those
there
games.
with slides on, making sure you're not in there with a tank top on. And
Yeah,
he said, you better be sitting. You might not be in the first seat, but you better not be in the back.
yeah, be in the front, man. No excuse for that too.
Be in the front.
Don't be talking about I couldn't get in the front. You should have gotten there earlier then.
Yes, sir.
Coach Prime has conditioned you for that anyway to get there earlier. If it starts at the top of the hour, you need to be there 5 to 15 minutes earlier, ready to go. And that's what Coach Prime has instilled in them. So he expect that to translate to the classroom too. Don't go in there with the slides on and the wife beaters, as they say. Look presentable because you're
Hmm.
representing the whole program, the whole football team, from the top to the bottom, starting with the AD to Coach Prime and so on. So you want to represent that in the right way.
Tell you one of the things I appreciated, Chico, as a father, as an adult, we live in real world, real times, real issues. You and I talked just the other day about this potential sponsor who was working in the area of STD prevention. You remember that conversation?
Yes.
Coach Prime, man, really had a strong message today for the players out there about sexual responsibility, about your health, about protection and responsibility. It was just an adult conversation, man, saying, hey, look, the campus backpack, 38,000 students, people from all over the world. You got a responsibility for yourself and your family, your health. Don't be out here making bad decisions. Had the training staff, let people know, what resources are available out there. I just thought it was one of those things, man, that was just spot on and timely to remind these young men about social responsibility, sexual responsibility outside of just playing football.
Yes, indeed. That's huge, factor, major. When the other students come back on campus, you might have a sense of when you're there for camp and you're the only ones there. You might have a sense this is all for us.
Yeah.
You damn near forget that there are other students that attend this school until they start flooding back in. You're like, oh damn, we got to go to class and stuff now. This is serious now. This is real
Yeah.
student athlete time now.
And everything changes, Chico, even logistically. Let's say you're staying in Westminster, right? What used to be a 5 or 10 minute drive to campus now is a 25-minute drive to campus. So
Totally different.
for a 7 a.m. team meeting this week, you can't leave like you used to leave last week. You have to factor in again, there are 30,000 plus more people here, walking around on this campus. It's a pedestrian city, it's a bike riding city. There's so many more things to be aware of when you get outside of fall camp and it's just you here or other fall sports. So I thought he set the tone real well this morning. You'll see that this evening on the pregame network, of course. Check in with Will Off as reach the people as well. But today is wrapping up fall camp, man. Last practice, wrapping up, and of course, again, you're still practicing, but now you go into those limited hours because school is in and different responsibilities. So no more full time football only after today.
Yes, indeed. So, guys, gear it up. Get ready for Georgia Tech. The Yellow Jackets are coming to town next Friday at Folsom Field. Know it's going to be packed out, and everybody's going to be in there ready to go, man, going crazy. Shout out to the student section, and we know how crazy they're going to be out there, too.
Yeah, shout out just to every
Say the
section
least.
because it gets cloudy.
Yeah, to say the least. So, shout out to them. All
Hey,
right.
we
Hey, y'all
appreciate
stay
everybody
tuned, man.
checking in. I see the
Yes.
locations dropping: Memphis, Tennessee, Cordova, dropping in. Lots of locations taking place. Seeing a lot of comments on the jersey, Chico. Y'all know where to find that. Put the site up, Chico. They know where to find it. You can get one. You can't get this one, but you can get one just like it. Go to
Something like that.
uncandchico.myshopify.com. We got Deuce the Scoop merch, Big Dog Chico merch, pregame network merch, and the combination, the morning run merch, as well as Uncle Chico live merch. Get on there, look around, get you some. Houston checking in, Milwaukee checking in, North Carolina by way of Duval is in the building. We see y'all.
Yeah, make sure y'all put your city and the state in for when 80 Rick Jordan comes on. He can see, dang, y'all, you guys got people everywhere, man. East Coast to the West Coast for real.
I saw
All
you
over the
almost
nation.
change. You almost changed the accent when you were imitating. I'm gonna tell him.
Oh, I was in my accent. Oh man, come on, man. And you know what interesting about Rick Joyce? He's former football player for real, man. And
Yeah.
he played DB at Illinois. And I wanted to just understand that synergy between, with him playing DB, how much that even factored into how him and Coach Prime clicked, with their relationship.
There's another
Like
layer
that,
to that. I see Arlington, Texas just dropped in. Don't forget, before coming here, he was with the Texas Rangers.
exactly. So a lot of different and PGA Tour
Mm-hmm.
golf. So a lot of different ways where he was there at Colorado, then made his way around and made his way back and did what he did to bring Colorado to where it is right now. Top 7 school, most watched school in college football last season, and I think that's only going to go upward from here.
Yeah, absolutely, Chico. As we get into the rest of this week, again, classes officially start tomorrow. School is in on Thursday. Also on Thursday, we will have the LBs, linebackers, and the defensive backs for the pressers tomorrow. So you
Big
want to
show.
make sure you are tuned in tomorrow to see that back end of the defense. We've had the defensive line on, offensive line on, had the receivers and tight ends. I think, man, that kind of say the best for last, Chico. These linebackers, I think, are going to make some noise this year. Kind of a quiet group in the previous 2 years in Colorado, and I think this secondary, with a Travis Hunter gone, with a Cameron Silver-Craig gone, Shiloh, etc. Just like Coach Prime says about the overall team, this is a better team. I think people are going to be impressed with this secondary and their style of play.
Yeah, can't wait to show off some of the newcomers that we have, and some guys that's being brought back, like Carter Stockmeyer, Preston Hodge, DJ McKinney, all of those guys ready to lead that defensive backfield back there for Coach Mathis, Coach Rob Livingston, and Coach Hart at the linebacker position. Shout out to all guys ready to go. And I think we're ready to go too, man. I think we got the AD checking in right now.
All right, when he gets set up, just let us know and we'll cue him in.
All right. And make sure y'all put y'all questions and comments in the chat right now. We have an exclusive right here on the Morning Run. Yes, indeed. We got him coming on right now. We're going to bring on University of Colorado's Director of Athletics, Mr. Rick George.
There he is.
Hello, gentlemen. How are we doing today?
Man, doing good. Y'all,
I've been looking forward to this all day.
Man, look, we've been looking forward to it all week. Like we really appreciate you, the time you carved off of this. Let me say something to Chico and the chat watching. Rick, we got people from all over the nation tuning in, from California to New York. One thing I can say about this fella here, Rick George, if you were to go up to the 5th floor right now, I guarantee his door is open. He has an open door policy. He loves having conversations like this. He's not a leader that hides and doesn't want to discuss issues. So appreciate you taking the time out to do this, but not surprised that you took the time out to do this.
I've been looking forward to this. I asked to be on here. I'm honored.
You did.
Right. Appreciate it.
I want to go back to the beginning if we can, because I wonder, when you have a hire like Deion Sanders or Coach Prime, there had to be some people who's saying, man, Rick, what are you doing? This is crazy. Have you had the I told you so moment, whether it was that victory over TCU or mistaken to a bowl game? Have you had that moment you say, I told you it was going to work?
I'm not a I told you so guy. I was very confident in my decision to bring Coach Prime here, and couldn't be more excited about what he's done. And there's still a lot to be told on this story, and we're just at the beginning. Certainly that TCU game was really special, and you can see the way we embraced after the game. That day was special to me, and it's a memory that I won't forget. But that's just the start. We're in the infancy of what Coach Prime's going to do here. If you think about, we went from a 1-11 team to a 4-8 team, and to a bowl game last year, 9-4 on the season, and we got a lot of high expectations for this coming year. So I'm not a told you so guy. I'm confident in the decision we made. Coach Prime has exceeded expectations, in my opinion, and the future is so bright, as Timbuktu says. I got to wear shades.
I like that. It's not like a Neelyism.
And they're blenders. Then they're blender shades. That's all Deion will let me wear. Matter of fact, I might even have a pair on me today. Got to promote. There you go.
That's right. Like those. AD, Mr. George, can you tell us? A lot of people don't know. We were just discussing before you came on about your football history and your background. Can you let everybody know, starting from the beginning, your football background, and how did that lead you to being in the position that you're in right now?
Yeah, look, I was very fortunate, recruited by Gary Moeller, and Lloyd Carr was my defensive back coach at Illinois a long time ago. I won't say how long, but was a 4-year starter at Illinois. Lloyd Carr taught me a lot. Played defensive back, and Deion and I were very different. He was very skilled, and I was just this tough hitting defensive back that hated man-on-man coverage, but had to do it as a corner. And starting as a freshman, I was real fortunate and blessed, and Played against some really good people like Anthony Carter and Kirk Gibson and Leo Lewis and some of these players that a lot of people don't even know today that came up immediately after I graduated and played my last football game. I became an assistant recruiting coordinator as a volunteer. At 23, they named me the recruiting coordinator for football at Illinois. I stayed there for 5 or 6 years. Coach McCartney, I reached out to Lloyd Carr and said, hey, can you call Coach Mack? I hear they've got a position and opening as a recruiting coordinator that's off the road, because I was traveling a lot and I had a young daughter at the time. And Lloyd called Coach Mack. We met at a Fairview Boulder game, which is a big game in our community. And we watched the game together, and he offered me the job and was here through his national championship year, recruited a lot of those guys, and then moved on to different opportunities that included running a PGA Tour event in New Orleans, the president of the Champions Tour running the PGA Tour, and then and then going to the Texas Rangers, where we went to 2 World Series, and then got the call from Chancellor DeStefano, who I had a relationship from my years ago being at Colorado, because it's all about relationships, right? And I can tell you that's part of the reason that Deion's here is we had mutual friends that I didn't know were communicating with him about me and about CU, and and again, that's what it's all about. But I'm thrilled to be the AD here, and having Coach Prime here has really lifted all the boats in our that we have, all of our sports programs and our university, and the Deion factor is real, the Prime factor as they call it.
Yeah, you teed that up perfectly for me. No pun to your PGA background, but I want to talk about that Prime effect of what he brings to the table. When you look at what takes place in Boulder, all the way to Denver, all over Colorado, and not just during football season, but year round. And I see the IPF now has the Ford name on it. What have you been doing, to capture that synergy with the Prime effect and with CU Athletics, to form those strategic partnerships to help grow the program?
Look, we've got a great team. Our Buffalo Sports Property, led by Andrew Popchuk, does a great job. When you have the viewership at the level that we have, I think we were 7th in the country last year at over 55 million viewers during the course of the year. We were the only school in the country, I believe, that was on every major network every week of the season. And when you have that kind of exposure, that brings value to our corporate partners, and we've seen that grow. Ford's been a longtime partner of ours, but they wanted to elevate their relationship with us, and now they're our partner on the indoor practice facility, and sustainability is key for them in their electric vehicles, and they can promote that to audiences all across the country and the world, for that matter. And coaches, him coming in here, everybody said that, are you ready for this? And I'm like, yeah, I'm ready for anything. Well, it was a lot. It was a lot more than I anticipated. And now we're seeing the fruits of that. He's going to be here another 5 years, and I'm really proud of that. But we're just getting started, and, the partnerships that, and I will tell you this, and I think this is important for student athletes that are out there looking at schools, and for our current student athletes, when you have that kind of exposure, it helps your brand. And we're telling our student athletes, all of them in all of our sports, utilize the platforms that we have, because it's really important for you to elevate your brand, because we're being seen by TikToks, Instagram, X, and all these different YouTube and all these different mediums that when Coach Prime came, we were doing okay, but now we're really at the top level of that visibility. And while you can say what you want, that visibility is really important. It gives you different opportunities and different options as you move forward.
That's the Prime effect right there, right?
That's it.
Yes, sir.
And if you could explain it or describe it in just a few words, how would you describe the Prime effect?
I'd say the first thing, it's a lot, because again, if you look at, what he's done here, I think even You look at our stadium, and there's more color in our stadium than we've had in the past. And when we go on the road, we're helping fill stadiums all over the country, and they're in CU logoed apparel. You look at Shadur's first start that he had for the Cleveland Browns in the preseason. I saw more Colorado gear than I did anything else other than the Browns. And so, it's that kind of effect. It's, he's one of the best athletes in the history of sports in this country. And, you see this 20 some years or 20 years after he's played, and he's still a prominent name and a prominent figure in the sports world. And he and I talk about this, and we laugh about this all the time. There's people that love him, and there's people that don't like him. And those people help. They're watching the games, they're doing the things, and how can you not love this guy? I mean, look what he's been through in his life, to this point, and what he just went through. And he maintains this even keel about himself that, he's got his faith that's really important to him, and he leans on that in really tough times and good times. And he does the right things, and he's been an incredible ambassador for this department and this university and our program.
He certainly has, man. And the things that he has sacrificed personally just to coach football, I don't think anybody can question, his dedication to it. There are all kind of rumors out there that once his sons left, he was going to stop coaching. I think when you see, as you know, what he went through this summer and what he's still going through to be here, I think he's here, man. He's happy.
Yeah, look, I mean, I think he and I share a lot in common. As I said, when we were going through this process of hiring, there were people behind the scenes like a Cordell Stewart that I didn't know had a relationship. And he's telling Coach that, I recruited him, and, you can trust Rick and those kind of things. And we're both old school. And I think that makes a lot of sense. Our faith is important to both of us. We share a lot of same commonalities, and we're passionate about young people. And that's one thing. If you come here at Colorado, you're going to have somebody that's going to take you from a young man to a grown-up in 2 to 3 to 4 years. And he's going to instill that in you. He holds them accountable. We've never had a GPA as high as we've had since he's been here. And the graduation rates that he's pushing out are incredible, because it's important to him that his young men that come here are really focused on getting that degree, because let's don't lose sight of that. With all the changes in college athletics, we still need these young men and women that compete in sports and college athletics to get their degree, get their education, and make sure that the 4 years that they're in college sets them up for the next 40. That's our goal at Colorado.
Rick, you talked about some changes there, and this is going into my third season with Coach Prime here in Colorado. And one thing I can tell you, if you come every 6 months, you're going to see something new that you didn't see before. The new Jumbotron, whether it's a turf field. And in that regard, what's next? Like what's rolling out that you can let us look behind the curtain, changes wise, is going to take place programmatically, or whether it's physical in the stadium or just operations?
Well, I mean, look, we already talked about this pop-up porta potty for Coach Prime, so that'll be the next thing. It may be the first time in history that you have a sponsorship deal around something like that. But look, our focus now is we've really got to focus on making our department budget right. We've got to, when you infuse a $20.5 million number into your budget from one year to the next, you got to be very thoughtful about how you go about that, because you can't do it all in expense cuts. Raising, revenue, another 20 million in 1 year is very challenging. But we've got an incredible Board of Regents and our president and our chancellor, and we've got a lot of support in our community. And so we're really focused on growing our revenue, creating partnerships that are meaningful for our young men and women, the above the cap, for our young men and women that play and compete here at CU. So our focus is really on that piece right now. We've done some really good things. We need to fix the west side of our football stadium, which I hope to do in the next 3 to 5 years. And we've got an event center that's getting older that we need to fix. So there's some things that we're doing. Seems like every year we do something that is meaningful and impactful. I can tell you the two things I'm most proud of at Colorado, and Coach Prime is in that group. But the two other things are the facility that we built here, the Champions Center, I think is second to none. It's attached to the indoor practice facility. We've got the whole Crawford Family Student Athlete Program that is really based on data science and allowing us to prevent injuries and to bring our student athletes back quicker. So we're going to make sure that those programs are robust and still in place. And one promise I made to all of our student athletes when this House settlement came up is that we're not going to go backwards in the support services that we provide you, whether it's psychological health performance, whether it's strength and conditioning, nutrition, all those different things, academic support. We're going to be robust in that. We're going to continue to grow those. And then again, we've got to go out and find ways and creative ways to generate more revenue to allow us to compete at the very highest level, because we all know, in the next 3 to 5 to 7 years, there's going to be another change in college athletics. And my job is to make sure that we're in a position to be in those conversations as we move forward. And Coach Prime has certainly helped that.
Yes, indeed. Hey,
I'm sorry, that was a lot. So I'm you get me going. Let's go.
I love every word of it.
I was going to talk about bridging the gap between the legacy buffs and the fans and all of the fans that came in with Coach Prime. He's coming in not just as a head coach, but as himself, as a celebrity. And you brought in a lot of people who have probably never watched Colorado football or college football, period. But they're coming in. How did you bridge that gap between the legacy buffs and the fans and Coach Prime fans?
Yeah, look, I think both the legacy buffs and those that came in with Coach Prime all want the same thing. They want to see him successful, right? And they want to see this program back to the relevance. A lot of people, because of the last 15 years, we haven't been relevant in college football. But we have an incredible history and tradition of how this football program's excelled and thrived, and winning a national championship in 1991. We had some glory years in there. Between 87 and 94 when Coach left, and all the way up to when Coach Barnett left. So we have that history and tradition. And again, I think it's the commonality. I will tell you, the first game that Coach came out and Lil Wayne's in there singing on the mic, as they're coming out. That was a little bit of a shock to me too, because I didn't know that was coming. So I'm like, oh hell, here we go. It was a lot of fun, but you never know what you're going to get when you come to CU football games, and our student body has been incredible. They've embraced it. I think everybody's embraced each other, whether you're legacy or those new ones coming in. We want to provide a great experience for you, and I think Coach is on board with that. And I just think it's really kind of worked really well together. And it's really fun when we go on the road, because we're meeting new people that aren't from Boulder that are going to our games in all these different areas. And, next year when we go to Atlanta to play Georgia Tech, that's going to be a lot of fun, because, it kind of brings Coach back to his roots down in the Southeast and this team. And we've got a lot of players on our team from that area. And we're excited that Georgia Tech's coming in here on Friday next week. And that was by design. We all knew that. We both shared the national championship in 1991, and I think now we've got 2 years to settle it on the field.
Love that. AD George, we talked about the Prime effect and this impact, outside of the campus, Boulder, Denver, Colorado, even the nation. I want to go more internal with it. Coach Prime is not shy about pulling up to a women's basketball game, a soccer match. What kind of boost have you seen in the other sports, because of the Prime effect of him being here?
Look, I've seen a big impact. When you go downstairs and you eat in our training table, the recruits and student athlete, Coach Prime eats there every day, because we got the best chef in the country, and he's interacting and engaging with all of these other sports. And when we had our welcome back picnic or our kickoff luncheon last Friday, he's apologizing to soccer because his team hasn't got out to support them like he normally does, because he wasn't aware of the game that night, and because he's so focused on football. but he has that impact. If we have a recruit in town and Coach Boyle will bring a recruit over to introduce him to Coach Prime, and he'll talk to him about Colorado. And here's the one thing that where the differentiator is from the previous few coaches that we've had here. Coach Prime knows how to sell this university, this program, this community, and this department. And he does it in a way that really engages with young people, more so than any. He's rewritten the way you recruit, in my opinion, in college athletics because of his presence on social media and all these different platforms that he's so good at. And I think our other coaches learn from that, but also being able to bring them to a game and your recruits to a game, and you got a sold out crowd every week, and students are awesome. And it's just an incredible environment and atmosphere. And I think, when a program like this has success and we get the exposure we do, it's lifting all the boats and lifting all of our sports teams.
Love it, love it. AD George, we got a couple of questions from the audience out there. They put them in the form of super chats. I see one from DJ, $4.99 super chat. Appreciate that. He says, "Are you looking to add strobe lights and improve the sound system in the nighttime game day experience?"
Well, look, we improved the lights years ago, to make sure that they would support all these games at night. I don't know about strobe lights, but we do need to upgrade those in the future. We did that at our basketball arena, which has made a big difference, where you can turn them off and on at the same time. So we'll continue to look at that. The sound system has been an issue here. We upgraded that a few years ago. It still needs to be tweaked and get better, and that'll be a focus of us moving forward. But when the stadium's full, it's hard to hear anything.
Yeah.
But that's a great question, and I appreciate it.
Got another one from Primetime Buff Nation, $20 super chat. We appreciate the support. It says, "Question for Rick George: do we have any further information on playing an opponent for next year's spring game? Since we don't play Colorado State for 5 years, can I nominate them?"
Well, you can nominate them. Maybe you need to lobby the NCAA and the Football Oversight Committee and have them put in a rule that you can have an OTA, kind of like they do in the pros, and have an opponent that can come in and play in a couple practices and then a spring game. I think the challenge with that, if you don't do it locally, and that's why Colorado State, why not? Right? We'd be happy to do that. And we had some conversations with them about that this past spring. But, if it's a long distance one, it really doesn't make sense, because if you think of the travel costs, there's $250 to $1,000 at least in airfare and different things like that. So doing it locally makes a lot of sense. But again, the rules at this point don't allow us to do that.
Speaking of rules in NCAA, you also have a unique experience being on the selection committee and having served there. How have you been able to utilize that resource and that experience there to benefit what you're also doing in Colorado?
Look, it was one of the great benefits of my career was being able to serve on that committee. And I think it's important to know how the committee thinks and what's important to them. And, if you look at our non-conference schedule, and we're playing 2 Power 5 teams this year, which enhances our strength of schedule, and those things are really important. When you get in that committee room and having that experience of that when you schedule and all of those things matter, and getting off to a great start. It was a great honor to do that. And I'm very confident in the selection committee. They've done a great job over the years, and I'd be hard pressed for somebody to tell us where did they go wrong in the last 10 years. They've done an amazing job, and I'm blessed to be a part of that.
Absolutely. I want to get you another fan question for you from Steve Maven. Super chat, $16. Appreciate the support. He says, "AD, with NIL and social spotlight growing, athletes face constant attention and intrusion. How does the athletic department balance NIL opportunities with protecting players' privacy?"
Look, I mean, it's a balance, right? It's a real challenge, because when you get on social media and you're out there promoting, what you're doing, it's a real challenge. And we're trying to do everything that we can to ensure that our student athletes are not taken advantage of, because, look, some of these ladies and men are making good money, and that, has brings another level to, their scrutiny. And you might have some people that are trying to, get at their money somehow and what
Yeah.
that will look like. And so for us, we try to educate all of our student athletes on expectations and what you can expect on being on social media and being such a visible piece of the community that is out there on social media. And look, it can be challenging. And while social media is really good, it can also be really awful. And people are very critical of people because they can stand behind a wall and say all these different things, and that has an impact on the mental and physical health of our student athletes. And so we've got a robust psychological health performance team. We're looking at ways to monitor everything on social media to ensure that our student athletes are protected when they need to be.
Love that. Love that.
We have Uncle Neely, who's our resident A student. I'm going to be the C student. So I want you to break this down for us right here, that the NIL situations. If I'm a student athlete and there's a business out there that want to do an NIL deal with me, do I report that to the school? How is that broken down as far as the budget go and so on? Let everybody know.
So look, I mean, if a student athlete has a company that approaches them about that, the rule that's in place now with the House settlement is anything above $600, they have to report to this clearinghouse. And that's real important that they do that. They could be deemed ineligible if they don't. And so that goes through a clearinghouse. The clearinghouse evaluates to make sure that, it's a legitimate business opportunity for a student athlete. We're out there looking for opportunities, and then the company would decide, which student athlete that they want. But we also know that in this day and age, a lot of our young men and women have business associates or business agents that are helping them find these opportunities. So really the structure is get that agreement. If it's 600 or more in front of this committee, they'll evaluate it, and then we move forward. And look, that's a big piece of this. Everybody's got this cap of 20.5 million in revenue that you can share. Mm-hmm. It's above the cap. That's really going to make a difference, and we've got to have a robust program that we will allow us to provide opportunities for young men and women in our program to benefit from those. That's a great question, though. So you might go to A, he might go to C.
Thank you.
Sorry, Uncle Neely. I mean, I had to say that,
Brother George, let me tell you, you're spot on, but just wait 5 minutes. He's going to flip back to C. Like it won't take long before Chico goes Chico. I got to ask you this, AD George. I think we're in this perfect situation. I'm saying this as a fan, supporter, and the partnership that I have officially with the university. I don't want to see this end anytime soon, but we got this wonderful commission in the Big 12. He has this New York Rock Nation experience. We got this wonderful AD, who has PGA, Major League Baseball, collegiate experience, and we got this wonderful head coach that you just signed for another 5 years. The big question is, how much longer does AD George want to be AD George? Are you sticking around?
Look, I love being at Colorado. I've been here. I just started my 13th year last week. I'm excited about what's ahead. At this point, I've been doing this for a long time, and I'm passionate about this school and our programs and our student athletes. And I haven't put a timetable on anything. I'm still operating under my contract, and I'm very comfortable with that. So no big news today. I'm just making sure that I focus on the now. And the now for me is to ensure that our student athletes are having the experience that we promise, that we have the programs in place for them, that we are putting this university and this athletic department in a position for the future. And that's what I'm focused on. I'm not focused on an end game or what's my future look like. I'm just going day to day and focused on that, and going to continue to focus on that.
That was a wonderful answer.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
I appreciate that. Maybe I can be an A-.
That's right.
You know, we appreciate the time you've given us, AD Rick George. Man, this door is open for you anytime you want to come on with the announcements, news, or just shoot the breeze with C Student Chico. We're here for you. Anything we can do at the morning run to help you be
Hey, wait a second.
man.
You said he's a C student. I think you're both A pluses. So let's go.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Look.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys having me on. I really do.
No, we appreciate your time, man, and looking forward to this successful season. Starting off next Friday, August 29th, right here at Folsom Field. Georgia Tech comes to town, and I'm sure you're going to see our AD out there in the locker room on the sideline getting us going.
That's right.
Have a great day, guys. Appreciate you.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you.
AD. One and only AD Rick George. Right here on the morning run, baby. Where else can you find that? Nowhere. Like you just did.
Yeah, man, big time there, man. Appreciate the AD stopping by. Like he said at the beginning of it, like this was his idea. He came over to practice. He said, "Man, when you gonna have me on? I got to come on the morning run." So
yeah,
there you have it, man. Great conversation, great engagement from the chat out there. Appreciate those super chats as well. We'll try to have him on regular, probably monthly. Got some stuff coming up with Coach Prime as well as we get ready to start the season today. Chico, final day of fall camp. Classes start tomorrow.
Yes, indeed. Just wanted to say, hey, for anybody out there that put questions in the chat, we didn't get to them. Hey, sorry about that, but we'll make sure we add them for the next time. Y'all can put them in the chat once the show is over, and we'll see them on the video, and we'll get to them for the next time. We appreciate y'all engaging with us, though, 100%.
Chico, one thing I want to give you a shout out, man. I think you got your hair did a day early.
You counting down the days when I get my hair done. Ooh, shouts out to T Brave 808 Hawaii, baby. Got me right late last night so I can look presentable for AD Rick George. We can't have a big interview come on and we have a big time guest and I'm out here looking all raggedy. So I didn't want to go with the ludicrous afro. So I went with the Nicaraguan braids.
What's the pattern? I see at WYW. What do I see in this Chico?
Well, we switched it up. We hit him with the what you call it, the Sham God.
Oh yes.
So I wanted to hit him with the Hezi God and switch it up a little bit. So we just went with a different variation from what we usually do. You know what I mean? T-Braids 808 Hawaii.
Shout out to him, man. Shout out to him. Hey, after the game, sorry.
Hey, shout out to our brother Dukes too.
If we missed your question or anybody's question, the chat was rolling by fast, so apologies for that. But we will certainly have on the AD again. So we'll catch you on the rebound. Sorry again. Apologies to anybody question that we missed.
Yes. Got a main man Dukes. The Scoop just checked in on the road.
On the road again. It's that time of season.
Yes, sir.
That's right. What you recruiting?
Y'all see what's behind me.
Man, you in the South. I know what the South look like.
I'm telling you. Yeah,
somebody said you headed to Camp Duval.
I might be.
That's in the South. I know. Like I said, I know what trees and sky look like.
Man, I'm telling you. Now I want to jump in right quick and commend y'all on a great interview, man. Chico, proud of you, boy. For sure.
Me?
Why I can't be proud? See, I'm
just asking. I just said me. Just like AD Rick George said about Uncle Neely. Good job. And he was like, huh? So I'm saying to you, like, huh? What you mean? Like, huh?
Man,
for real?
Listen, man.
I'm just saying, Dukes. Shout out to AD. I clip this and send it to him. It just watered down my A. That if I got an A and Chico got an A too, I'm like, oh, we just giving out A's, like.
It wanted it.
I get called to the front. Hey, Nina, you got an A. I'm like, yeah. Hey, Chico, you too. I'm like,
hey, let me tell you
taking away the value, dog. Taking away the value. Like, hold up.
I ain't want to put no grade on it. I just want to tell Chico I was proud of him.
I appreciate that, brother Duke.
It's Wednesday. It's hump day. You know how my boy get down, and I'm glad he kept everything at bay. Did what he had to do. And Uncle Neely, of course, man, you know how you get down and super proud of that boy. That's a big time interview.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. And again, like he said, AD said at the beginning, like it was he wanted to come on. Not that we didn't want him on, but it was he approached us and was, because he watches the program and sees what's taking place here. But I got to tell you, Dukes to School, because I know you're in transit. Kimberly Nash Williams has said what I've been trying to say to Chico forever. and she's underscoring what you just said. The response should just be thank you. Like Chico don't know how. He don't know how. All he do is say thank you.
Duncan Peterson, thank you very much. Mahalo.
I'll be like, Chico, great job. What you mean? What you trying to say? Like,
usually yours come with a setup, you know. It's like a sweep cag. You go put your arm around somebody. Then next thing you know, you pulling them down and sweeping your foot up on them. So
King Kagger. Hey, Dukes. What about that though? What about that?
Oh, that's super tough.
That's super tough. They know where to find it at now. They've been loving it in the chat. All they gotta do is go to uncleandchico.myshopify.com. Get all the morning run merch you can handle that you want. And Deuce and Scoop, man, checked in with us from the road. We knew he was traveling today, man. Appreciate you, checking in with us, man. Good to see you safe and sound.
No, absolutely, man. So we'll check in. Maybe we get a you tell me tonight. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, let's figure something out, man. Be safe out there on that road, man. We know you gotta do your due diligence, checking on your guys and your family. So
are you driving or are you getting chauffeured? No, you big Dukes out here. So are you driving and getting chauffeured?
No, I'm being I'm not driving.
Oh, you know what? I might be dry snitching. My bad. Let me. My bad. Let me just be quiet.
Hey man, I see y'all, man.
AD said I was gonna go. I mean, Uncle said I might go back down to that C. Yeah.
Can't help it. Can't help it. Give me 2 foes in a row and then go back to a 2. Like, damn, dog. I can't trust you. I want to put you out there, but I can't trust you.
You gotta stay consistent, baby. King Kagger. Oh, now. Oh man, that's how Duke start the mess. See, Duke's know what he do. He come in here and stir up the pot a little bit, then dip out. He gone now. He just he sit back laughing. Like, let me see what these Negroes say now. Hey, we're gonna end it right there. I'm not gonna keep this plane in the air too long today. You know what I mean? We had a great interview, great guest, and I don't know where else you can find that at the way that we just did, the way we pull it off with the other things that's to come in the future for the morning run. Runners.
And speaking of the future, just in case you're just tuning in, today is the last day of fall camp. Tomorrow's the first day of class. Tomorrow's pressers will be the linebackers, Coach Andre Hart, as well as defensive back coach Kevin Mathis, and a few of those players. And then that next day, Chico, which is Friday, is 1 week away. It's officially game week then because we play on a Friday. Got 7 days, then the Georgia Tech comes to town. Game is sold out, but we'll be live on ESPN. So you can check it out there. Get in where you fit in. Kick off 6 p.m. Eastern. 6 p.m. Mountain, 8 p.m. Eastern. But we're going to be bringing you all kinds of updates through the week leading into game 1, Georgia Tech. As you heard AD George said, it's a home-and-home series. So next year, we will be in Atlanta for this game.
Shouty. Shout out to Primetime Buff Nation said, do you guys get sick of me tagging you guys in my videos? I'm not sure.
Well, I can answer that. I'm not sick of it, so.
Yeah, so
might
not be doing it enough. I haven't.
Yeah, yeah. I'm certainly not sick of it, so keep doing it.
Yeah. Are you tagging the wrong people? Let's see. Do we have another super chat? Hold on.
Not a super, but I'll take this one. Paisley Jones says, what's the atmosphere like when the players get ready for GT? It's one of those things, Paisley, great question. When you say somebody is more locked in, somebody would take that as what they hadn't been locked in. But there's a certain intensity when you start preparing for an opponent that doesn't exist in general. Same thing, like you can't replicate game day atmosphere or game day reps. So the closer you get to it, man, it's just more and more locking in. The intensity picks up, the focus is there because you're literally working on plays and installs that you're going to be doing against your opponent.
Right.
So I like the atmosphere that's taking place on this last day of camp and getting ready to just be in full force Georgia Tech mode.
Full force Georgia Tech mode. We can't wait, big man. Ready for game day. Friday night lights.
Labor Day weekend.
It's time for work. Shout out to Coach Hart. Like you said, we'll be coming on, him and as Coach Prime say, fella. Get ready for that, man. Show a little snippet from this right here, Uncle Neely.
We tackle the ball, tells me your commitment to the team.
See.
That's what we looking for.
Might
How
not be able-
committed are you to
might
the
just be able
team?
to show it like
So
we did
when we
last show
freeze
and not
frame the
hear it.
photo after the tackle, we should have all 11 in the dang box. Let's go. Let's go. Let's
Ready
go.
for football, man. Got them boys running to the ball.
Yeah, that's a key drill every day is get to the ball. All 11 has to the ball. Even when we review film that afternoon or in front of the players, the full team the next day, is hey, when I pause this video, I should be able to count 11 black helmets in the frame. Like who
Right.
not in the picture? Like get to the ball because you never would know what's going to happen.
Exactly. Running behind the football. Somebody could drop a ball, cut back right into you. Bam, you cause a fumble, all because you hustling down the field. You know, that's key right there, man. Get down the field. I saw Big Barnes running, and Coach Prime said, "That's Big Barnes running out there." Yes, Big Barnes running, big 92. Get upfield, and also this is a way to continue to stay in shape. Also, so I remember doing those drills back in the day, man. All right, we landing the plane.
We getting the break.
We landing the plane. Can we land it?
We getting the break. We getting the break. We getting the break. Good. Hunt on 3. Hunt on me. 1, 2, 3.
Thank y'all for coming out. Have another great day.
Nice.
The runners, mount
I
up.
love it.
Get them in the chat. Thank y'all for participating and engaging. We got more and more to come. And once we end this, y'all make sure y'all comment, like, subscribe, and everything else. Until next time, the morning run. Big Dog Chico, Uncle Neely, peace in the Middle East. Yeah, y'all. You get you. It's the morning run.